that they should release Nnamdi Kanu. It appeared as if it was that once Nnamdi was arrested, banditry will end, cases will end, killing will end. Instead, after he had been arrested, it worsened. Situations are worsening every day, which now proves that holding Nnamdi Kanu has not provided any solution. So I am pleading with this uplifted hand that God will do miracles for us and grant us a Savior who can do the miracle of bringing him out from that prison, that DSS custody, not prison, DSS custody. Holding him there is worsening things in this country. Let the leaders not say it's boring. Igbos are part of this country. Our situation will affect the whole nation. Otherwise, why want Nigeria? If you are negligent or suffering and think that Igbos are alone, they are on their own, then why belong to Nigeria? If anything that can make the Igbos every Monday, nobody goes to school, not even the government could come out. Something beyond the government control. And the federal government is silent. Is it not wickedness? And the poor masses are suffering. Our youths who have no jobs, their problems are increasing. I don't want to talk about the keke issue in Enugu. I hear the story very well. Because when there is no job, people should not perpetuate more joblessness. No. There are things we cannot accommodate on this land. So anybody who makes a law that should not be made should be ready to face the consequences. The poor masses should not continue to suffer and suffer and suffer. And I am pleading with the leaders of Enugu State. I'm available for them. If they make any law resulting me, let them not expect that I will consult and make any statement. God will not forget the leaders. If we are watching our youth die this, we are watching our parents suffering, there is no job. Means there is no job. Any government that cannot create job for the subject has failed, from the federal to the state to the local government. We cannot watch our youth render jobless, otherwise more crime wave to this city. The people, if they don't go with their keke, their parents will not eat. Their wives will not eat, their children will not eat. Their sick mothers will not take any medicine. If you catch any keke person that committed any crime, punish the person. You cannot generalize the sin of one to everybody. No, that's what we call in philosophy fallacy generalization. It's a fallacy. The action is fallacious. We are waiting the banning of Sienugu because those people who are killing the police, they use Sienna. They use Lex, at times Highlander, at times Mercedes, at times Jeep, and they will always wind up. Most of the time, Hilux, tinted and untinted. Therefore, God will punish all leaders in Enugu if they keep silent and the poor man suffering. What actually is happening? The poorest person on this land can become the richest person, and the rich can become the poorest. I was watching the CNN today. Look, Ukrainian people, even the millionaires, all of them run towards the train underground for safety. No more poor, no more rich. Everybody has been equal by nobody envisaged. Something can happen in this country. And even the governors, the senators, the House of Arrest members, the chiefs, the youth, everybody will be running together into the bush. It can happen. God is not happy. You that used to communicate, tell them that I said, God is not happy. He's not happy. Let the church leaders stop and condemn evil. Otherwise, the church leaders will suffer. In the Methodist, both in the Anglican, both in the Catholic, it doesn't matter. All of what is happening, they will suffer. Let them stop thinking that zone can be perpetuated. A little mistake like this, you'll be hiding in one room with your parish priest. The youth, when the youth are employed and engaged, those who made them idle are multiplying calamities. The only way to solve this kind of problem, create more jobs. Anybody who has anything doing, encourage the person once it is good. All their shops, this time to knock down the shop. Manage them for now. The situation, the time is if things are too hard. I know that after this message, they attack it. If you're still your time, otherwise, why are we priests? Why are we not married? Why don't we have biological children? Because we have sworn an oath to take care of you, to be your mouthpiece. Ka ọ ga-esi wee be ọ na-abụ ịmata ọma fere ibe ya. Onye ịmata ọma fere ibe. I cannot understand why we shall have everything and lack everything. Millions of our graduates are now moving out. Even in the Ukraine that is falling, is struggling to go back to. That is better to go to Ukraine than to stay in Nigeria. Those in Russia I call to begin to go say, what are we coming to do there? If all our intelligent youth travel out, those who are in Nigeria, somebody told me yesterday, they are trapped. Those who cannot move out. Look at the kind of killing and killing and killing. No plan for the sects. They are busy talking about election 2023. They don't know that God can do something and that 2023 can be a dark year. Let them do the needful. In one state, few days ago, armed robbers from one bank to another bank, not less than 4 banks, carried the home and the police could not arrest one. Okay. Was that through Keke? Or Keke? Okay. So vehicle truck should be banned. These men that were killed last time, were they killed during the night? Was it not during the day? So banning of vehicles in the night, what is the advantage? There are people When they retire from official job by day, they could do one or two things by night to get a little money. Suffering should not be increased. How should parents pay for the school fees? As for after graduation, is there any job? Because very soon now, it will be that Biafra is fighting the government to be the jargon. If you are saying that, you are wasting your time, you are wasting your... And I want to assure you, if you want to face the wrath of God, invite for any meeting over this. The same poor masses that are giving offerings. Father Jamoto, the priest is living in the house. The priest is living a good life. It's because of your purses. The little you people have, you support us. Why should you people we are silent? That is wickedness of another level. The politicians are gradually causing anti-clericalism. They are imploding inside the church's sanctity. Before they will adulterate us and they will go away. Politicians, most of them belong somewhere. They belong to somewhere before they come to us. And we think we are dealing with people. Most of them are cultists. Some of them are in nobody and one cult or the other. They just come around us to cover face. Otherwise, how could a leader be so hard-hearted? You'll be watching yourself, there's no food, nothing. And you are happy. Premature death of our elders. And that was why the reaction was going on after last 2 weeks' message. That our priests should not be taxing you people when people die. And people have even mouth to respond to that. Shameless people. Is it because I decided to be calm for a while? The same Mbaka that embattled Abacha, embattled Yaradua. Just came out of government house. What rubbish. Call me for any meeting over my prophetic word, I will not answer you. Then the battle will be you and God. And anybody who engages himself in any meeting on how to attack Father Mbaka will be punished spiritually, be disgraced publicly. So you better go and do the needful and leave the man of God alone, or you suffer. Remember Samuel 26. Verse 10. As God in heaven lives, I'm thinking about no job, no job, no job. Why didn't Americano leave London to come to cry here? We are asked to go to farm, go and farm, go and farm. Most of us went to the farm. Is it because I decided for the sake of peace to be calm? One of these faithful Mondays, sit at home. How many hundreds of cows, thousands of cows entered my farm and destroyed the whole crops? It came to a level whereby the policemen had to arrest those Fulani cattle ranchers, rearers. And I said, die the case. Before they blow Father Mbaka's name up again. How many men and one have been killed in the farm? And somebody came to cry over it. And that person becomes a terrorist. But those who have been killing people are not terrorists. And you think Allah is sleeping. In Allah, vengeance must come. It's a matter of time. Let them not think that everything is over. Today you are on that government seat. Tomorrow you will not be there. So what happens after? Okay. When God can visit you with one incurable sickness, the whole money you pack, you will never make use of it. So are you attacking Fanamaka over what? When the government has failed, the government has failed. The church should be the watchdog, talking spiritually. Look at our youths, like sheep, like sheep without shepherds, like sheep without shepherds. Our young men and women have now involved themselves in idolatry, in charm making. Okukana was in urban cults.
To understand this very evening, we are facing a very formidable array of enemies, both external and within, and we are going to overcome each and every one of these obstacles. That I can assure you, that they may know that the God we worship is an invisible God, not a God that was wrought by the hands of men. For we do not worship idol, and we can never ever worship idol. Is impossible. This very family, this IPOB, belongs to the Most High. And that is how it's going to be until Biafra comes and beyond, to eternity. This evening, I want to place it on record that our enemies are intensifying their attack against us from every corner. I am not saying this as lamentation or complaint. I am only trying to prepare our people for what is to come. You are being prepared for what is to come. The time has come to separate the chaff from the wheat itself. Our march is very, very near. The enemies are trembling, they are quaking, they are doing all they can to try to stop us. But they have failed very woefully, and they will continue to fail. But I want to tell you that we are getting attacks from everywhere all over the world. And very soon, they will buy over some of you. Some of you, they will buy some of you over. The spirit of Asaba Massacre and Ifajuna are still in some of you. When the time comes, they'll buy you over. I am not doing this program tonight to ask all of you to be strong. I am doing it to remind you, not that if they succeed in you over, you're not going to stop what we're doing. You can't. You cannot. Not in a trillion years. But I need you to appreciate one very simple fact. That at the end of this very race, everybody will testify that indeed the same God of Israel, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the same God of Inaguleri, the same God of Umweri, the same God of Ora-Eri, the same God of Uwe-Eri, the same God of Arochukwu. Not to know the true God, one true God. You will know that indeed, not only is he omnipotent, that same God is the owner of this very agitation. No human being can stop it. We have enemies, and we need to be very, very careful, both within and without. Very, very careful. The next 2 weeks will be very pivotal. The next 2 weeks will be very, very important in the life, or should I say, in this very mission that we have embarked upon. The devil will do everything. And you are going to watch spectacularly how we are going to destroy and shame the enemy. That at the end, every glory and adoration will belong to God and not to man. Now let us go and tell you what is happening that some of you do not understand. I want those of you who are hardcore, those who were chosen before you were born. There were some people who were chosen before they were born to agitate for Biafra restoration. This is a message for you. Those who from their mother's womb they were born to do this very work. You must be very, very strong. Because Biafra will open the eyes of black people all over the world. Because Biafra will mean that blacks from America, blacks from the Caribbean, from Southern America, they will all flood into Africa. It will be like the time that Yeshua was born. Biafra is like a light, a beacon. They will follow it. They will say, let us go and see what is happening there. That is what these neo-colonialists do not want. They don't want Biafra to come. I am telling our people so they understand the mountains. I didn't say one mountain, the mountains in front of us that we need to overcome. And for us to overcome it, we need to be very strong mentally, mental strength. Just like when you're doing anything in life and it appears as if you're being buffeted from everywhere. That is the time that you no longer rely on willpower or your muscles. You go to your brain to endure and to persevere and to keep going until you come. That is the stage we are in right now. To make sure that our brain is in gear to confront everything the Gentile would have to throw at us. We don't have money. Their budget is over $20 billion to fight us. They can bribe Facebook, they can buy them off. They can do anything they like. They can come to some of you and bribe you off. They can promise you what you've never had before. They can give you maybe a house in Dubai. They can promise you a vehicle. They can tell you, oh, we'll make you vice president. They can promise you anything to make sure that you're like them. But this very IPOB, this very hardcore is not going to move. And I will tell you why we can't move.
Ndewo Muchineke, Momo Biafra. Good evening, wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom, and friends of Biafrans all over the world. We salute you and we welcome you to yet another segment of this joint media campaign where we dissect and puncture some tires and we give you undiluted so that you will be able to extract something that will make your day and your week and your year and your month. Remember that we are still on the campaign of no election in Biafra land, which is non-negotiable. And also, our leader is still behind bars. And also, tomorrow Biafrans will appear in court in our motherland. So, you must give your support by going out and doing the needful to not cause any havoc. They stand in pari passu with the lawyers in court. Also, Asaba Massacre, which started in July, and then we had the biggest part of it in October 5, 6, 7, 8. The Remembrance Day is coming up on the 7th of this October. And every Biafrans are obliged to keep that day holy and remember that is total lockdown of Biafra land. I salute all my comrades in the studio and I welcome you all, and I will start the introduction with the manner I see your faces displayed on the screen. Our leader is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the only indomitable leader of Biafra land, and he is still waxing strong as the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. But he is not waxing strong in health. Mazi Simon Ekpa is the spokesperson of Biafra, which Biafrans unanimously gave him the mandate. So, you love him, you hate him, you are wasting your time. All you have to do is to give him your support, because it is not what he does that should matter, but where we are going that should matter. So do not criticize his personality or his name or his location or work or life. You're wasting your time. The message must always be delivered. So I love all these my comrades that are always active and ready whenever we ring the bell. And I will start by appreciating you all for your immense effort, depending on your different locations and continents. If we look at all our comrades here, you see that we are all in different continents. So I appreciate you all. And our foot soldiers that are making us proud, without you, we cannot even have this broadcast. If you don't share, if you don't like, if you don't follow, if you don't subscribe, we go nowhere. So please keep up the good work and we appreciate what you're doing. So, Mazi Kelechi, please, the mic comes to you for your formal introduction. There you go.
It is another special day of the media broadcast, joint broadcast, and I want to use this opportunity to appreciate my fellow comrades on the conference table because we are determined to carry out this mandate to the later. And I really appreciate everyone first for our strength, our rigorous resilience, tenacity, and zest. I appreciate us all. And at the same time, I want to appreciate the spokesperson of Biafra Massacre, who has been doing wonderfully well. And of course, I'm commending on behalf of Mazin Nambikano and leading us in the path we should go, according to the heartbeat of Mazin Nambikano. Because he sees and he connects with the mindset of our leader. And everything he has been doing in conjunction with the autopilot team is in tandem with what our leader represents. I also want to thank Umuada for the great efforts and everything. I want to thank our men, the ESN, the M branch, and the Alliance for this task ahead, which has started in a good note and is going on strongly in defense of our land. I also want to appreciate every Biafran, you out there, for your efforts. Whenever we show up, you are there to support us, to spread the news, to actually defend the cause of the autopilot system of operation at this point in time, critical time of massive actions for the restoration of our freedom and at the same time for the freedom of Mazin Nambikano. I also want to thank God because I know God is going to release him supernaturally and his health will be intact, even if we know that they're actually trying to get him down. But we know that strongly, he's going to come out strong and the Lord is with him. Every Biafran should be praying for him. Thank you all, and it's my pleasure being here today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We greet all Biafrans. As you both said, make I greet Biafrans again. We greet all Biafrans in a grand style. There we go. Mazi, please, it's your turn.
Well, good evening, Biafrans and lovers of freedom. Once again, it's my great privilege to be here with you. And we are here to do justice. We are here to answer the call of God under the leadership of Mazin Nambikano, the only incorruptible leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Through his auspices, we are here tonight to broadcast. And I would like all of you to go to our channels, like I used to say, and click the button to anywhere you can find any autopilot. All of us here will have our own channels. Go there and subscribe. Whatever time we're in a good time like this, you get our message. I will extend my greetings to Mazin Nambikano anywhere he is. Distance is not the barrier. Our spokesperson, Mazin Simon Eba, and I want to thank the Umuada, those of us who are formidable. Every Biafran, not even the IPOB alone. There are many people who are not here who have been working assiduously, and all the commentators on this platform. I will use that button as a point of contact to say, God bless you all for being here tonight. Just listen. We have a good news for you. Thank you.
Azokunpo, thank you very much, and God bless you. Mazi 247, it's your turn, please. Mazi 247.
Yes, I did here. Okay, what did I go talk?
Mazi 247.
Yes, I did here. Okay, make I talk. Okay, what did I go talk? Why are they talk double now? Sorry, now because you wear this cap today, now make me the talk double. You they hear me at all?
We hear you. You go check whether your ancestors visit you.
No, now because I make her enter studio now, because Pastor make her enter studio. You follow me, go back by Kodo. You know, no say get people where they fit. Yeah. I greet you now, my people. Anywhere you there, they look, they see, the eye, they hear, we greet you. Now we be your brothers, we be your sisters, we be your family members. My greetings and love to my comrades in the studio with me this evening. I know if we call all of their name because some English I know if we pronounce them well. So everybody where they outside there, I greet you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I love Ona. Now we the practice waiting they call democracy. Government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Now me and you, now we and you together. So we greet all of you. Welcome this evening as we come to Balahotobohike. This evening, just stick with us. God bless you. Thank you, Mazi Sonny.
Thank you very much. William Onyeka, you said, Madam Asuka said, make I speak my language. So that when I go there, that day where I speak and fundraising, everybody won't cut their tongue.
Overcover.
I know how many people here now. Over one. Still survivor. Please, it's your turn. Grab the mic, please.
Thank you, my brother. Fellow Biafrans, I appreciate everybody who have joined us on this broadcast, and I appreciate my fellow comrades on the platform. I say, may Chukwu Abiyama continue to guide and protect every one of us. As we have devoted our time on this very struggle to add our own contribution to make sure that things are working, Chukwu Abiyama will always be there for us. Any place you are watching from, any place you are connecting from, you have a role to play. Everybody is important, no matter how small, no matter how big. Even as you're sharing the video, as you're sharing and you're liking the platform, you are equally doing something. No matter how small, make your contributions. Chukwu Abiyama will be our strength and we'll be victorious. Thank you and welcome everyone.
Mazi, God bless you. Where your face they shine today. We don't know whether you get something where you chop with it different. Supposed to be all right. Welcome. See the man where go imitate 247 barbing style. Maybe say you never prepare, you go enter something, run away.
Hello.
I don't tell him. So grace the house. See as you shine. Shine, Baba.
It shine past my own self.
247. Do you know why I want to shave my hair always? So that you know that I'm an old man. You know, because now old people they get bad hair. So I shave and
that means I'm old man now. So you don't tell me you are an old man again.
No, you are jumping beyond your step. It's me that should be shaving. That's why I'm shaving it.
He's claiming old man.
Thank you, my comrades. You guys are very wonderful. I'm very proud of you. Proud to associate with you guys. Since you people came, all of us came into this mainstream to present the Biafran issue, it has taken a new turn, which has been very interesting and has helped accelerate the Biafran progress wonderfully. I'm proud of you guys. Identify with you guys in every department of the game because I know the burden in your heart is for Biafra. And then our foot soldiers, like others have said, Sonia Parawan, my brother, Chief Survivor, and Mazio Konko, and my handsome brother, 247. If they are not there, we can't do much. If they are not there, we cannot do much. You are not the only handsome man. Mazio Konko is a fine young man, if you don't know.
Now, fine young man, you call him. You call me handsome man. Mazio Konko, now fine, you call him. Handsome,
it's Sakurawa that looks like an Akwa man.
More tight to your elbow.
It's Akurawa that looks like a Temku with his cap. He's an Akwa man. But he's a fine guy too.
Man of God, man, a cowboy no look at your total, man. I was way before that says our cowboy has all got way.
But boy, Temku,
cowboy.
So, no more Biafra na Nekeluno, Uno na Bale, Chineke Kozyunu, Kozy Chinese. Akunu Biafra, stay na Mara Chineke, Ogavena Mesu. ndị ọcha ma na anyị ihe anyị makarị ha n'ihe ha ma na Biafra abịa na ihe anyị ga-emepụta ga-agbanwoju ụwa anya dịka onye ndu anyị si kwuo na ihe a mechaa na ndị mmadụ ga-ama na na-efe Chukwu okike abịa ma so Chineke gọzie unu n'aha Jizọs amen.
Thank you for doing additional prayer for us. There we go. The Matrix man. This is the Matrix. Now we have the Matrix on the screen.
Who is the Matrix?
Please do it in the Matrix standard. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope my voice is coming at this time.
Loud and clear.
Good. You know, I used to talk to my friends. They always say, what is the meaning of IPOB? Some of my friends that are not Africans, you know, I used to tell them that the IPOB means Indigenous People of Biafra. And this is the real media team of IPOB. Other IPOB making noise on the gutter there are fake. Fellow Biafrans, I still remain your brother, your son, your friend, Gaddafi of Biafra. You know, Gaddafi is not a guy name. I remain that same Gaddafi. I just want to say thank you to most people I love to appreciate. Is our people, our foot soldiers, the people that one lady said that when you talk to them, they will attack you on your platform. Those are our foot soldiers that are doing wonders out there, carrying the message to the grassroots. I salute you all. I also want to extend these greetings to our men on ground who offer their life as a living sacrifice to make sure this land of Biafra, the land of the rising sun, the land of great people, the land of technologies, the land of science, the land where democracies begin in all universe. That's where I happen to come from, and I'm proud of that. I am a Biafran and also called to serve my people in the media team. And my duty is to expose the evil, the atrocities of the government of terrorist Nigeria called Niger area. The government that take pleasure in killing their citizens, a government that burn down the buildings, burn down the houses of people, use their blood to stain their national flag. That is our duty. And I'm proud that I'm part of these men. These great men that are in this studio, some of us are not here. We are mightier than what you can think of. I want to say, my people who are media member with me, the business, I say thank you all. I know it wasn't easy, and it has not been easy. We all decided to offer our life as a living sacrifice. I value you much. I salute you all. You are men, a man that has the strength of lion, unlike those POS that are masquerade leading 70 millions of Biafrans who the Biafran people don't see their face. So I salute you all that are in this studio because you made yourself available. You are willing to die for your people. I thank you. I salute your courage. I remain your brother Gaddafi of Biafra. Thank you all.
As in there, God bless you. But this your glasses now, woto glasses. I think we must hear this.
Yes, in Amo.
Now the matrix code for
Why are they laugh now?
matrix information.
Somebody won't buy that.
We're gonna never fire.
247. I was looking for granite oil to fry my akara. And I
For
remember
tell me
that.
now.
And I remember your hair can produce granite oil. But it was late
You
when I
don't tell
remember.
me. You for tell me, sis. Sonny, you put a make they see my hair, say the child true now. You know, see you. You see your life.
Today I be cowboy.
247, don't be Holy Ghost fire, they protect you.
Now, if
Today I
no
be
be this
cowboy.
year, therefore don't pound them for mortar like they pound the other small children own. God pass them.
Sonny, when I see your cap, I think say you are King Solomon when they inside beach.
No,
Solo dey beach
my own na
today.
inside house I did. But na beach. I carry the beach come inside house.
Sonny
Nah,
dey
nah,
inside beach
nah, nah, they
today.
practice how to, they practice Fulani herdsmen.
Now that one go put them for wahala
It's
now.
allowed, oh. It's allowed. After all, if Fulani men are practicing and then they are being paid, is it not for somebody to come and become the so that you get money? What Nigeria for that matter?
Come, you don't talk to Ikenga, merchant agitators.
Hey, okay. Biafrans all over the world, that is the gist. We have to put the dazzle in your smile because we are not here to do burial ceremony. We are here to make you know what is happening and then also look at how you are. Anyone that is having IBP at the end of this broadcast, your IBP will be cured because that's how go the crash jokes they go. That's how the broadcast go they go. Before we move on, let us give kudos to Biafrans that are taking the bullet in the cause and quest of our freedom. Today is Monday. In some places, today is Tuesday. So let's say Monday sit at home has been done and dusted, and we wish to tell Biafrans kudos for your resilience, your steadfastness, your commitment, your sacrifices, and your dedication to your freedom. Because you every time records and tell the world that you are fully ready. By carrying out this civil disobedience, the whole world recognizes what is happening. And we in the diaspora, we are also doing the needful. So you cannot speak out from home before they come and kill you. Allow us to do the speaking for you from the media. So from me, I say a very big thank you to Biafrans for sitting at home and continuing what they are doing. So please, before we go to the main matter of the day, one minute to all my comrades for them to applaud Biafrans for their resilience and sitting at home. Let me start with Mazichuk Survivor. Please, one minute.
My fellow Biafrans, mainly those who are in Biafra land, I appreciate every one of you. I always give them a special thanks each time I come to broadcast because it's not easy. These are the people who are facing the bullets. They are the people who are on the ground facing the bullets against all odds, against all the attack and all intimidations. Yet they are doing the needful, sitting at home. When you say sit at home, they sit at home doing the needful, facing the bullet for all of us. It's not easy. I appreciate every one of you. And I tell you, as you are sincerely from your heart committed to the struggle, you are not only going to see Biafra, you will celebrate in Biafra land and you leave the flag with a spoon in the mouth and Nadikan. May Chukwu carry and continue to keep all of us until that day that is coming very close. In 2023, we all will meet and we will celebrate together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi. Mazi Okonkwo, please. 1 minute.
Yes, Biafrans. You see, in our language, they said na aga karakade ri ngworo means a word that have been predicted for long years can never take a blind or crippled man unawares. It's a radio. First of all, let me thank every one of you who have seated at home today, and also those of you who also did not sit. You have your own purposes. But one thing we know is any order that will benefit us, follow it. all of you that are working hard on this restoration of Biafra. I said, may God Chukwukabiyama bless all of us. We are here to get Biafra, and nobody will stop us getting Biafra. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 247, please. 1 minute.
Okay. Dear friends, I thank you all for the privilege, opportunity, chance, time. Well, now don't give us to stand in the gap, and you people have been like the Ndibos no gidi gidi wugweze. No, if no be you people where they around us, they support us. Even when somebody, you know, sometimes people go do some things. Now go they say, give us time, make we deal with them. Honestly, all of you have been amazing, loving family. I love you all, and we all love and appreciate each and every one of you. Like I used to say it, every one of us is doing what they're supposed to do. And when I'm saying every one of us, I mean you out there listening to me, and me, myself, and my comrades. If you are not there to listen, I wouldn't be here talking, because me talking to nobody is just a useless, it would have been a useless idea. But for you to be there, commenting, strengthening us, it is just the way the God Almighty wanted it. So we love you all and appreciate you all. Remember, as I used to say, now your own you they do, they do my own. All of us must not talk, and all of us must not comment the same time. I love you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mazi 247. Mazi Gaddafi, please come to the screen.
My joy is that the 40 million they paid them to stop sit at home, they just collected the money in vain. That is number one joy that I have. And two, the Biafran people are not the people you can play anyhow. I thank you all, because people willingly decided to sit at home to make our voice heard. I thank all Biafrans, all our people at home, mostly. I thank you so much for leaving every source of your income to make sure that you stand on your ground. I thank you so much. Not just thanking you, I salute your courage. Some of you have taken the bullets. Some of you have been wounded. Some of you are paid with their life. But above all, we will not disappoint you. We will not. We will not. We will not. Thank you, and we're standing shoulder to shoulder. We share your pain. We share your loss. We are standing shoulder to shoulder with you, all of you that are living in the Biafra land. I thank you for your courage. Please count on us. We will not disappoint you. We will bring you Biafra. And the one thing I know, one thing I'm double sure of, very soon you will sleep in zoo and wake up in Biafra. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, 1 more minute. Mazi Kelechi, it's your time, please. Please unmute yourself, unmute yourself, unmute yourself.
One important thing you have to understand is that that little sacrifice you're making at your corner is significant to what we're doing. That sacrifice, that obedience to the cause of the sit at home is fundamentally important. And that is why we are successful. So you must understand that your persistence all this time is actually the product of moving the autopilot mode forward. And I want you to understand something. Persistence knows only one ideology. And I will tell you that ideology. The ideology of persistence is that it can never be worse, but better. So just count your sacrifice and your decision to obey instructions as fundamental to the cause of bringing about the total freedom of God's people. So just understand that what you are doing is the basic fact that will bring Biafra and that will restore our nation. We want to thank you for your dedication. We want to thank you for your persistence. Just keep it up and know that persistence knows only one ideology. It can never be worse, but better. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So much.
Maker Livingstone, please.
Thank you, Biafrans. Honestly speaking, after Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Biafrans observing sit at home have made the greatest sacrifice after Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And that has been my motivation in this struggle. Because if you are fighting for a cause and the people are not responding, you get deflated. But when you see the people go through fire and they still remain in faith, it's a motivation. So my respect to the Biafran people that have been sitting at home. Nyendu said that a time will come. A time will come. Motivation, resilience will be needed to go through this terrible time. And I thank God that our people, regardless of the fact that they are in that wicked contraption and they have been economically, cheated not to have any manner of encouragement, regardless of the fact that all the resources that sustains Nigeria comes from our peoples. They have, in the midst of want and need and poverty, remained faithful to the Biafran cause. I am sure Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be very proud of you guys. And you are our motivation. When we do launching, fundraising, you are there. Even I know so many people back home who, regardless of what they're passing through, they want to contribute financially to ESN fund. You have made the greatest of the sacrifices after Nnamdi Kanu. And I respect you. And I will not fail. The Biafran cause is something I'm committed to. Nothing is going to change me. And I cannot be bribed. It's not possible. God bless you, Biafrans. God bless you so much. We shall see Biafra. It will come. Old men will walk on the street in Biafra. Children will be playing on the road. Days by moonlight will come again in our villages where we gather and sing songs and damsels dance. It will come to pass. I look forward to that, those glorious days. For God will bring Biafra. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you very much. God bless you too, and bless all Biafrans. Woto Woto is the code, and we should not forget, because that is the happenings of the day. All right. We've done part one, part two, and today we are to conclude the part three of the publication from the declassified UK of British roles in Biafra Massacre, which also culminated into the Asaba Massacre that you see. So that Asaba Massacre did not happen on its own. It is still part of the handiworks of Britain. From the part one and the part two that we did, you saw what British did. You saw that what brought them was their interest of oil and gas in Biafra land, and for them to kill us and to maim us to be able to protect what they want. So they also came up with the amalgamation, which shows you how they are so ready to protect and to enslave people. Hmm? And also from the economic aspect of it, they also put you in bondage while everything is coming to relax in their garage in UK. So while you were crying and yet in jeopardy, Britain were planning of how they will bring more aircraft, more boats to the riverine areas to block everybody that were even supposed to come and help you with food. I'm talking of food, I'm not talking of any other thing. So please, if you have missed the part one, part two of this broadcast that we did, go visit all our channels here. You will see them. Take time and then watch them and finish before you come to continue this part three. Because this is the concluding part before we jump into Asaba Massacre, which is the other issue of the week. So please, Mazi Kelechi, you were on the concluding part of the publication. So I'll put it on the screen so that you finish the concluding part because it's not much. Then we will jump into the Asaba Massacre trend. It was from this point here. We have to bring this down so that we'll have it bigger. This will have to zoom. This information started here. Oh. Is it coming out clear?
Yes, very clear.
You can read through if I scroll down, right?
It is okay, yeah.
So,
Okay.
let me go on.
It was you stopped here. This is where you stopped.
Yes, the leaders of both
So
sides, and yes, go on regime, policy of go on.
Start from the disinformation.
Okay. So we're looking at
The mic is shut now. You are in control now.
All right, thanks. Now, Biafrans, listen. By March 1969, Wilson continued to misinform the public that we continue to supply a limited scale arms, not bombs, not aircrafts to the government of Nigeria because we have always been their suppliers. That is the sentiment of the government of Britain. Not only was this untrue as a result of the agreements, not only was this untrue as a result of the agreements late the previous year, on the very same day as this interview, the government approved the export of 19 million rounds of ammunition, 10,000 grenades, and 39,000 mortar bombs. A day before the Wilson interview, a foreign office official privately wrote that we have over the last few months agreed to supply large quantities of arms and ammunition to Nigeria to assist them in finishing the war in the absence of any further peace negotiations. He also noted that we have flown small arms ammunition to Nigeria using Matson Airport in Kent without attracting unfavorable press comments. Now, I want us to look at this aspect of it to assist them in finishing the war in the absence of any further peace negotiations. Now, let's just do some 2 minutes each talk on this. Now, if you look at the image or the voice behind this particular clause there, you'll discover that the actual beginning of the war was funded or promoted by Britain. And if you look at everything by the language and the language of this particular article from beginning to the end, you discover that the reason why Britain has actually funded this war is because Britain actually wanted to take Biafrans on, and knowing that if they come direct on it, it's going to tell on the international community that's going to come hard on them. So they needed a proxy, the Fulanis. That's why they gave them the mantle. Now, I want to ask Mazi Okonkwo. That clause says to finish the war in the absence of peace negotiations. What kind of peace negotiations do you think they were trying to talk about here?
You know, when we talk about Britain, Great Britain, as they call themselves, we talk about people who are greedy. We talk about people who serve the devil. We talk about people who, I would say, are the most dangerous people in the earth that we should not give chance to take our things that belong. Any negotiations here is about the pocket. It's about business. That is the whole thing. No white man enters into African country without having something in his mind. But the way they did it to Biafra are too horrible. To assist them in finishing the war in the absence of any further peace negotiation, it simply means that clear them all. There's no negotiation. Wipe them out in millions. There is no negotiation. And the war has not entered. In this communique, there was a place where we started to the part one of it. They said their intention very clear to remove Ojukwu totally by force, the same way they removed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Why? In order for them, that is the same thing that is here. It's assisting them in finishing the war. They are still assisting the Janjaweed up to today. And lying to us, it's about 5,000 people that die, while we've died more than 7 million people, 5 million to 7 million people. So assisting them is clearing, in fact, terminate them without mercy. That's what I understand here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. In fact, it's very interesting because when you look at these words in the way they are laid here, you discover that there are some hidden meanings that are connected to these things. Now, factually, we want to look at that word, peace. Please, Pastor Livingstone, can you give us a definition of what they really mean by peace?
Well, I'm looking at the write-up.
Okay.
It says we have the foreign office official privately wrote, it was a secret. And what he wrote was different from the presentation of the government that said they were not involved in any large-scale ammunition supplies to Nigeria. That's deceitful. And then it says, agreed to supply large quantities of arms to Nigeria to assist them in finishing their war in the absence of any further peace negotiations. When they talk about peace, the only time I understand that there was a negotiation for peace was when they went to Aburi in Ghana. Then Ojukwu was looking for a regional restructuring of the country. That was when he sought for peace. And Gowon followed Ojukwu to Ghana to answer to General Ankara, who was the most senior military officer within the West African sub-region. Now, when that accord was reached and they came, Gowon refused to announce it. And after waiting for a long period, Ojukwu had to. Thereupon, whatever peace that is being said by the British here is false peace. No peace again was negotiated because it was the same Britain that advised Gowon not to implement the Aburi Accord. The Oba of Benin, who is dead, Akenzua II of Benin, I think so. He was a very senior civil servant then. Also spoke against Gowon responding or acting in respect to that agreement. That was the only peace agreement that took place. And I think Bafemi Awolowo was also part of those that advised Gowon not to listen to that peace agreement. Beyond that level, there was no...
Pastor Livingstone, you've just given a very critical, summation on that. It's just that I want us to really be fast in concluding, you know, just 1 minute, we just run it, and then we'll
Okay.
so
So
we can
actually,
out so many things.
yeah, actually, there was no other peace negotiation. The wording there says helping them in finishing the war. And what does that finishing entail? If you listen to Harold Wilson's comment that he does not care if 500,000 Biafrans are killed on a daily basis, then you understand what they mean by assist them in finishing the war.
Yes.
Is to kill our people.
All right. Thank you. Mazi Survival. If you look at the language also, you can know clearly that here they are talking about peace, when actually what Ojukwu did at that point in time was actually the peace, trying to implement peace. But of course, they brought war, which means that their pattern or their idea of peace is for Biafra to come to their terms. Now, if you look at this statement to Nigeria to assist in finishing the war, it looks like the lives of Biafrans depended on this statement. The lives of Biafrans depended on this statement. Please, Mazi Survival, in 1 minute, just tell us how this affected the lives of Biafrans, this statement to Nigeria to assist them in finishing the war in the absence of any further peace negotiations.
Yeah, from that statement, it is very clear that from the onset, the British has no plan to make any peace. They were making sure that there will be no peace in Biafra land. If you can see, there's a video in circulation where Ojukwu was talking about how far he went to stop the war, and still they refused. Ojukwu said that he gave an open hand for anybody who can bring any diplomatic means to make sure that the war did not happen. But yet, there was no peace anywhere. So when you read this very portion, and you will see that this from the onset, the British has made it. They have made up their mind that they are going to make sure they take over Biafra land. They didn't create any chance for peace from the onset.
Okay. Mazi Gaddafi, do you sense from this statement that the British actually were really in having a fundamental hatred for Biafrans, and they needed a tribe amongst those who have been brought into the contraption Nigeria to actually annihilate the Biafrans? Can you deduce that from this statement here, please?
Thank you for the opportunity given to me. What I want to say is that when they say to help the Fulanis finishing the war, underline that statement, to help the Fulanis finishing, meaning annihilate, meaning to kill them all in absence of peace negotiation, as in to say, we don't have time to be negotiating with these people. The best thing to do is to kill them all, to take over their land, which is still the Abuja Declaration is connected to. You know, this is thing they believe that let us help Fulanis to kill these people all and take over their land. That is why you see a Boki man from Jigawa State will tell you that oil in Bayelsa State belongs to Jigawa State. Meaning, British supply them the bombs, supply them every ammunition to finish the war. When you talk about finish the war, it's when you kill all your enemies, you finish the war.
Yes,
so when they have it in mind, finishing is kill them all. That is why you see the introduction of the blockage of air, land, and sea. That is atrocity that has never happened in any way on this earth. The blockade, air, land, and sea. That is to tell you that they don't have mind for you to still live, exist as people. That's why if you watch when the 10-year-old boy said, we are fighting for survival, and we are still fighting for that survival till today. When British said, finishing the war does not mean any other thing than to say, kill them all.
All right.
That is why they introduced, block them the air, block them the land, block the media, Let what not know what is happening. Let us finish the war by finishing the existence of these people.
All right. Thank you so much for that submission. In fact, you gave us some. Mazi 247. If you look at the picture behind me, you discover that it actually interprets this line, finishing the war in absence of peace negotiations. Now, this picture signalizes what happened to the people based on that language. Finishing. Now, if you look at this picture, you see the flies, you see the situation they are in. It gives a vivid picture and insight to what they experienced in that period. Please, can you throw more light to this for Biafrans to understand? Mazi 247.
Sorry. If I did hear well or if I fit understand this grammar, he said, can I see that thing again? I beg, no come out and put them there for me. It good to not even come out and make everybody they see him. He also noticed that we have where is that peace negotiation? Okay. To assist them in finishing the war in the absence of any further peace negotiation. Now, so me I see any further peace negotiation. So to finish the war, like we hear or like we've been saying, when you fight war, you should be fighting the war, not killing the innocent children and the citizens. But if you see what happened, they began to bomb villages and communities and marketplaces, of which they are still doing till now. When me and you they hear the talk. So that is to tell you that these people only want to finish everybody, not be the Biafran soldiers. And they remember, when they come back from Aburi, they did not disagree. They have to advise Gowon, don't be a Mugu, go and start the war. We are with you. That give Gowon the lion heart when we can come begin the fire first bullet, first gun, first. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mazi Sunny, if you, of course, going through the details of what really happened that period, there's this particular narrative that came up from the killings of Biafrans, which they call Harold Wilson's syndrome. That means the epitome of the war became synonymous to the name Harold Wilson. It became a syndrome. Now, by Harold Wilson's policy, if you see that statement there, it wrote that he actually sent this message privately. Now, why do you think he made it private? Mazi Sonny, please.
Thank you very much. I appreciate everyone's contribution because they have actually nailed it all. Why they said private? Remember when the Secretary of State sent letters to Gowon, it was also private, and then they told him as an injunction that it would be against the British Empire if he stands against it. And they also put another clause that it will also be a sanction to the church. So everything was well calculated and planned out. If it was to be brought out to be done publicly, there would have been outcries from left, right, center. Let's also remember when they now said finishing the war in absence of any further peace. Before now, they themselves, the British, they have already blocked United Nations and every other body from coming in to crave for anything negotiations. So why would the same people now come back again and say finishing the war in the absence of further peace negotiations, when they already use money to cover the mouth of the people that were supposed to be on the table for negotiation? It was all planned out against the Biafran people. Everything was to kill all of them, finish it. This finishing now is when they finally went to our village one after another and they lined us up and then they destroyed for them to confirm that they have conquered and they have taken over the oil and gas again. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Which means that their purpose, their intention was not pure. It was actually negative. And the intention was actually to wipe out Biafrans. Okay, let's read further so we can look at other points, please. Please take it up. Let's read further so we can. Now, we're going to the next paragraph. It was perhaps no surprise that Gowon could write to Wilson in April, saying, of all the governments in the Western world, yours have remained the only one that has openly maintained its policy of arms supply to my government. France, Belgium, and the Netherlands, among others, have all announced a halt, while the US continued its policy of not supplying arms to either side. Okay, let's go up. We'll still look at that in the context of further understanding. 2 senior Air Force officers secretly visited Nigeria in August 1969 to advise the government on how they could better prosecute the air war. 2 senior Air Force officers from the British government came to Nigeria secretly to advise the government on how they could better. They want to finish it up. Okay, let's go on. The main British interest, the fires make clear, was to better protect the oil installations. But the brief for the 2 officers stated that this impression should not be given to the Nigerians. Now, let's look at the hypocrisy of the British here, please. It's just that we have to answer this. Please, let's just take it 1 minute each. Please, Mazi 247, can you explain to us the evil that is embedded in this statement here? The main British interest, the fires made clear, was to better protect the oil installations. Now, can you tell Biafrans why and how they should understand the evil that the British government, especially the Queen, supervising that mission, represents?
You know, thank you, Kelechi. The thing we say, the people where they tell, may they go fight war. Now them be mumu. Because if you tell me now, make I go fight Kelechi, I go ask you, what in Kelechi do? Why are they fight Kelechi? You understand? So they no ask, why are we fighting Biafrans? This thing where Biafrans do, this Ojukwu demand of fair equal rights, make everybody manage your resources. Federal system, Abi. I think that was federal system of government. No, I think
confederal system.
Federal system, no.
Confederal system.
Confederal system. Yes, thank you. Confederal system of government. So what is really wrong with it? But they did not ask. All they were interested in, kill Ojukwu. Ojukwu is your enemy. Kill Biafrans. Biafran is your enemy. And these people no ask. Waiting this, even if Ojukwu is our enemy, what about the innocent citizens, innocent youths? They have been killing all this. So the oil is their main target. Even till now that me and you they here, only the oil, not any other thing. Thank you.
All right, Pastor Livingston, please. That we see double standards here. From this statement, we understand that they have actually given Nigerians impression that they actually wanted to preserve Nigeria and make that the interest of the war was for Nigeria to be good. That means the people there actually have been manipulated to believe that. But here it is stated now, the double standard is that they actually said that they didn't want to give the Nigerian people the impression, because somehow, if you give them that impression, it might actually affect their own interest. Please, can you portray this to Biafrans?
Yes, it is very clear. They didn't really care about the Nigerians. They were interested in the oil installations. And unfortunately, these oil installations were located in the Biafran territory. That means if the Biafrans had been in tandem with the British people, because they didn't care about Nigerians, they would have supported the Biafrans to remove the British people, to remove the Nigerian people. So, but the willing tools in the hands of the British people to execute their selfish economic interest were those in the north. And therefore, while the British had in their mind to protect the oil installation so as to feed the British industries, they were trying to tell the Nigerians that they cared for them, when in actual fact they didn't care for them. But I am not excusing Nigerians. for being fooled into taking decisions against us. For up to today, they're still making the same mistakes. Britain is evil.
Yeah. All right, thank you. And Mazi Survival, if you look at this statement very clearly also, how they could better prosecute the air war, which means that on land, the Biafrans were actually dealing with them in spite of the blockade. Now, how do you relate this to today and our ability to defeat the British and the contraption?
Yeah, when you come to the issue, what you just said now, and
Yes.
what we have just read, you'll find out that from the onset, British, their interest has always been the oil.
Yes.
It has always been the oil. And when you look at how everything happened during the Civil War and everything, you find out that they have already known that the Biafrans are not people you can be able to trample on. You remember, even during the time of the independence, the Hausas were not ready, the Northerners were not ready to go. They were not ready for independence. The people who were going for independence were the Southerners, were the Biafrans and the Dudua people. We are not ready. Already the British know that these are the willing tools that they can be able to use. That was why they were able to use them, and they used all their forces to oppress everybody and to make sure they shut down Biafra land. And the interest was oil and nothing else.
Okay.
That's just the only interest they have.
All right. Mazio Kongo, do you think that, because I've been thinking about this, the British interest is to protect the oil installations. And they had a kind of impression on the Nigeria government. And yet the Nigeria government didn't look that way to understand that what all Britain was doing was to protect their own interest. Is it that they were blinded by their own selfish desires too? What do you think?
No, they are in the game together. Because person where they play 419 and person where play 419, they are all on the same game.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
and
the
that
two sides are pretending to
yes,
be,
it's a pretentious. These people, when you check the characters of the Fulani from anywhere they come from, you can see that they are even more dangerous than Britain. So deep, call it onto deep, is what I would say there. You know, so that is why the British see this paragraph where the blue line starts is the reason why Agri Accord do not occur. And now, when it did not occur, they start using the next sentences, which is called neutralization here. You know, using some chemicals that can be, because when you say in the chemistry, the neutralization means a chemical that can be very diabolic in the human body. Can you see that? This is the far they go in order to keep this oil. You know, so this is the main reason why the Aburi Accord has never occurred, because of their own personal business. They killed human beings for that under the neutralization that they're talking about. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Mazi Gaddafi, why do you think that they thought that they needed to re-strategize better through the air against Biafrans, since the war has lasted for this long and they saw that they were not actually succeeding and they needed to utilize the air power?
Thank you. What I have to say there is that the war turned out more than what they expected. They expected 30 days they will finish up. But let me tell you, why British don't want us to exist. If you look at the Osman Danfodian's this thing and Ahmad Bello's speech, they know that Igbo, the Biafrans, are most smart people on earth. So they know that they cannot use them as they like. And let me tell you, now we all know very, very well that this time we agreed to declare our redeclare Biafra. We are not looking at Nigeria, because we know that we are fighting against Britain. We are going to fight against Saudi Arabia. We are going to fight against Pakistan. We know the nations that we are looking onto, which Ojukwu did not think of. He thought he was fighting only Nigeria. Not at the end of the day, he started fighting all these nations surround us then. But now they know that Biafran people can defeat whosoever comes around them. So that is why what they need to do is to make sure that you do not see the light of the day. And above all, it is all about oil, even till today. And remember, oil and Biafra land is like a life supporting machine to pretend. Separate us from Britain, they will die natural death. Thank you.
Okay, Biafra, the one point you made is Biafra can defeat them at any time. Of course, it's obvious in this statement because they said how they could better prosecute the war, by air, Mazisani, don't you see that we have been able to identify from here that they know the area of our strength? How do you think we can maximally utilize this area of our strength and then also to use it to defeat them in their area of thinking that they can conquer us?
We will intensify, I repeat, that very strength which we use
Yes.
to destroy and to overcome the British under one Nigeria display. Because when they invaded our land and then they started lining us up to kill us in Asaba, before that very day, they were on the road. They did not lay siege of our land. They were on the road. And because of the fact that we own our terrain and we understand how to move, they were just coming in. So they were on the road. Before nightfall, over 900 of them were already falling
Yeah.
on the ground. There is a video to confession of that where is it Akuyi or something, confess about that. So I want people to understand the strength that the Biafran people have because we understand what we have, even with the absence of weapons in our hands.
Okay.
And
Thank
also,
you so much.
please, people should understand something here because in the last paragraph you read, they said they came for a private meeting or a private visit. They did it privately. Here again, you see they said the officers visited Nigeria secretly again. Secretly again. So then at the end of the day, they tell you that the impression should not be given to the Nigerians that their main aim and objective is the interest of oil installations. So Biafran should quote that and pick something out of it.
Yes. Thank you so much. Now let's go on. Thank you so much, my panel. Everybody, we are just giving great points here, and of course, Biafrans are beginning to understand. Their eyes are opening to these things because they have to know so that we can stand strong together and defeat the British. Because the core enemies are the British, and we have to defeat them. Now I read on. Biafrans, please listen carefully. The officers subsequently advised Nigerian commanders, that's the two officers that came secretly, on neutralization of the rebel airstrips. The air matter again. It was understood that destruction of the airstrips would put them out of use for daylight humanitarian relief flights, although it is not clear whether the specific British advice was put into action. Okay, let's go on. Let's go on. Sticking to our guns. Sticking to our guns. Sticking to our guns. Hope Biafrans, you are picking something out of this. Please listen carefully so that you will understand what happened to ourselves, our people, because history is what helps us to fine-tune today to defeat the enemy. In December 1969, just before the federal government's final push that crushed the Biafrans, Foreign Secretary Michael Stewart was still calling for stepping up military assistance even further. The British supplies, he wrote, have undoubtedly been the most effective weapons in the ground war and have spearheaded all the major federal advances. Now we can see that Britain is deeply in this. Dear friends, you can see that. So let's go up. We're going to get there. Let's go further. Let's go up. When Biafran resistance ended in mid-January 1970, Wilson sent another private message to Gowon saying, your army has won a decisive victory and achieved your great aim of preserving the unity and integrity of Nigeria. Now we see the double standards here again. They're telling them now that they have won, but they said no victor, no vanquish. Let's keep that in heart as we read on, because we're going to bring all of this as we explain further. He added, as you know, I and my colleagues have believed all along that you were right, and we have never wavered in our support for you, making it look like it is for them. Of course, criminals will always want to defend the other person, making them feel that it is to their interest. The same way Gowon and his cohorts felt it was to their own interest also, and they were using the British the same way the British were also thinking. They were using the one team and all of that for their own interest. So greed and all of that and double standards. Now listen, Biafrans, he added, as you know, I and my colleagues have believed in all. Okay, I and my colleagues have believed all along that you were right, and we have never wavered in our support for you, your government and your policies, despite the violent attacks which have been made on us at times in parliament and in the press, as well as overseas. There were internal wranglings, anyways, in the parliament and all of that, which means that the British government was divided in the midst of this. Okay, let's read further. Please, let's keep that in heart also, so that when we're explaining, we're going to explain that too. Now, the Deputy High Commissioner in Lagos added, there is genuine gratitude, as indeed there should be, for what Britain has done, is still going for this country. For what Britain has done and is still doing, okay, for this country. And in particular, for Her Majesty's government's courage in literally sticking to their guns over Biafra. Please, please, all what we have read now, I want us to comment 1 minute each on this. Please begin with Mazi, 247. Please just say something about what you have read so far. What is on your mind?
Please, unmute, please. We can't hear you, unmute.
Okay, sorry. The Deputy High Commissioner in Lagos added there is genuine gratitude, as indeed there should be, for what Britain has done and is still doing for this country, and in particular for Her Majesty. For Her Majesty, in particular, Her Majesty. Oh my goodness. Anyway, the thing is very clear now, not before big grammar, now for simple English. They are grateful, they have done, and they are still doing it. You see, why that our sister would you say something wrong, something that is positive again, the right thing against about the Queen and her death, and people were against her. Now, somebody that said that they are grateful for what the British has done for them, and they are still doing. And you ask yourself, what is this thing that they have done and they are still doing? Killing me and killing you, killing innocent Biafras, killing us day and night, mobilizing Funanis from all over the world to come to Nigeria, to come to Biafra land and kill us.
Okay.
My people, thank you.
Thank you so much. Please, Mazi Okonkwo, what do you have in mind from what we just read now, the details of what we have read just now?
Mazi Okonkwo, we can't hear you. Unmute.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
The Deputy High Commissioner in Lagos added there is a genuine gratitude, as indeed there should be, for what Britain has done and it is still doing. Have done and still doing. That is the main thing here. So bringing P2B, for instance, to to put him or to initiate him to continue what they have done and we see be doing. So we are, like 247 has said, this paragraph here is open for every one of us to make a shot of it and keep it yourself. What we are unfolding here is our bondage, why we have been where we are today. British conspires a lot of things that are holding us tight. So put that in your mind and may God bless you.
Thank you so much for that brief. Pastor Livingston, please, what do you have to say from all of these we just read now?
I think Emeka is not there.
Okay, Mazi Survivor, please, just say something about it.
From what we have just read, it is very clear, very, very clear that the people that we are up against is Britain. Britain are the ones fighting Biafra. They are the ones who are in charge of the war. Even when you look at it properly, the Fulanis have never fought anyone won. The Fulanis never defeated the outside. It was the outside that killed themselves.
Correct.
They couldn't even penetrate to Tifi. Tifi people defeated them. They have not defeated anybody. The people that we are up against, that we are fighting, is Britain. It's very clear. And they are still the one we are fighting to today. That is why every Biafran has to step up the game. For us to free ourselves, focus on them and make sure we liberate ourselves from British.
Okay, Mazi Gaddafi, please say something about it also.
There is a point that I click on. You know, he said, stick to your gun. That is why when we believe that the war was ended, and let me tell you, this was not called civil war. Calling it a civil war is a very big mistake. We can call it the war between the Biafran and Britain. So when they advised them to stick to their gun, the result was Asaba Massacre. Asaba Massacre was the result that the war has ended. And they came there softly to say the war has ended, let us celebrate. People came out. That is to stick to their gun and do the finishing touch.
Okay.
So they kill every male gone down. That is stick to your gun. I want you to understand, when they are celebrating the one that they've won, celebrating that the war was ended, and they still ask them, stick to your gun. That there's one thing you have to do. Go to Asaba and kill everything male child, or anything man over there. That is when you say stick to your gun. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My question relates to another area of Nigeria.
Mazi Sonny, please say something about it also, from all we have read.
All right. Thank you very much for giving me the mic again. Literally, and to a layman terms, when you hear the word stick to the guns, or stick to your guns, or stop to your guns, it simply tells you, it's like I had a knife. I was cutting somebody's head. So somebody just told me, stick to your guns or stop to your guns. You may take it to be idiomatic expression or something else. But what it simply means is that that person where I carry knife, they cut, make I continue the cutter till the head totally cut off. A waiting person will understand in a layman term. That. So Britain, with their disinformation at the end of the day, will like giving a conclusion and telling the Nigerian government, make sure that what you started in 66 gets to the final end. Because they told them before, you have won victory of this war. And they now took the aim of you fighting to keep one Nigeria as one has been accomplished. Meanwhile, the aim of fighting to keep one Nigeria as one is to kill your own brother. So that the interest of Britain will continue.
All right. So you see now, Biafrans, you see why we have to be very resilient in pursuing this cause of freedom. That is why we need to stand tall and make sure we defeat them to get our freedom. Enough is enough. Everyone who has decided to betray, you can see that you are doing yourself here. Well, let's read forward so we can understand better. Maybe they can understand better, but we are strong and resilient to get our freedom. Now, let's go to the next paragraph. Biafrans, listen carefully, please. We want you to listen so you can know what happened to your people and what they plan to do to you. They are still sticking to the gun. Listen, the toll of the war was assessed in a report for the British High Commission at the end of the month. It mentioned that up to 2 million people were being fed with food relief supplies. Around 700,000 whom were refugees in camps, dependent entirely on food aid. 3 million refugees were crowded into a 2,500 square kilometer enclave. You can imagine that. 3 million people in Biafra, where not only food, but medicine, housing, and clothing were in short supply. They want to kill them finally. The Biafran economy was shattered. Cities were in ruins, and schools. Okay, let's take it up. Let's take it up here. And schools, hospitals, and transport facilities were destroyed.
I think that's the end.
facilities, our people were entrapped. Now, this brings me to, we're going to talk about this 1 minute each so we can go to the next agenda, please. Just 1 minute each. This brings me to the fact that what we see here now, 3 million refugees were crowded into a 2,500 square kilometer enclave in Biafra land. This brings me to the point where it is obvious that they actually want to crush us. They were reducing us to a particular, and they want to crush the Biafra people. And they were reducing us, the divide and rule tactics where they cut you and break you and break you and break you to subdue you. Mazi Survivor, what do you think about that?
It is very clear the intention of the British, very clear their intention. Their intention was to wipe away the Biafra people, wipe them away completely. Just like we read in the previous one where they said they don't care about any peace. There was no plan of peace anyway. Even when they were talking about peace, their plan was to make sure that the peace doesn't hold. Ojukwu went extra mile to take them to Aburi and they threw it to the dustbin and continue the war. From every indication, they never want to spare anybody in Biafra land as they are pursuing their interest on the oil. That was the only thing they had, their interest. That's the only thing they were pursuing. They don't care about our lives, and they are still doing it till date. That is why we must wake up and liberate ourselves.
Okay. Mazi Okonkwo, this represents crushing the Biafrans, pushing them to a closet until you finally eliminate them. Food supplies, medicine supplies were short. That is a tactical way of annihilating people so that it doesn't seem as if you are the one who is responsible for the death. It just, and the press at that time was not really as open as it is now. Please, what do you have to say about, what's your mind on this?
Thank you so much. Sorry. You see, when you look at here, you see it is not systematical, but it's direct extermination. It's direct extermination. When you deprive somebody from clothes and food and a crowd of 3 million refugees were crowded into 2.5 meter whatever square. You see, that is British supposed to be revisited, believe me, because they committed the greatest sacrilege in this face of this universe. And the same people sometimes. That's why I don't blame people who say, I will never go to church if Bible will come from Britain. You see, they committed atrocity on the core. So our people should look into the cause of our problem. It was caused by the British, and we must know it. I thank God now the secrets are coming up. All these memos are very good for us. Thank you so much.
Mazi Sonny, how evil can you see the signature of Britain on Biafra through this particular paragraph, please?
It's quite shocking because if you look at the economic jihad that is ongoing now, you see that it connotes to this write-up. So, Nigerian government, when people heard of a Ruga was supposed to have been a continuation of this, which will prepare the way before the total annihilation of the Biafran people. Because they don't target anybody in Nigeria. It is only the Biafran people. Why? Because that is where oil and gas is deposited. When you hear some interview, somebody will tell you, this is where the heart of the oil is in Nigeria. So that is why Britain targeted that very area. It is very shocking here.
Okay. Thank you so much. Mazi 247.
Hello?
You can see this particular paragraph sums up every intention of the British. What do you find in it, please? Tell us.
That is good.
The 3 million refugees were crowded into a 2,500 square kilometer
Public holidays.
enclave in Biafra. We are not. Are you talking to me?
No, go on.
We're not only food, but medicine, housing, and the clothing were in short supply. The Biafran economy was shattered, cities were in ruin, and the schools, hospitals, and transports facilities destroyed. And this is what they planned. And this is the original plan. This is the master plan. So when you are talking of anything British, the thing they give me headache.
Honestly.
Because if they give me head bad belly British na bad no be that woman, you see that woman where died, that Eliza where died, he don't commit so many things, and she refused to confess or apologize before she died.
Right.
I believe the Britain, before they will have any peace in their life, they must apologize to Biafra and confess.
Right.
Because all these things, all these killings, my brother, we fought against Britain and the whole world. They were able to deceive. Not
All right.
only Nigeria, we did not fight Nigeria.
All right.
Thank you.
Mazi Gaddafi. I picture a kind of scenario here. If you look at it, imagine they saying these people, if of course the figure here is official, 3 million, you can tell the number of people without housing. And remember, as at this time the war was finished, you are talking about the rainy season had begun, which means that the rain will beat these people, the cold will come on them at night. They were suffering massively. Please, can you give us another level of picture from this submission here, please? Mazi Gaddafi. Hello? Mazi Gaddafi. Are you there?
I don't think it's here.
Okay. I think we've been able to do justice on this. And of course, we can still picture what they really did to us here. You can imagine these people, these millions of people out there without clothes, without anything, without medicine, without food, and yet the rains and the sun and everything coming on them. And this is the disheartening situation that our people found themselves. And that is what they want to do to us today. And these are the things we want to prevent. They are pushing us to that angle, and we are yet ready to take them on, and we are ready this time. And we're going to stop this evil. We're going to stop this evil from the contraption, and we're going to stop Britain forever, and God will mess them up. And that is what we decided to do. And Biafrans, you must understand, it is our job. Together, collectively, we must achieve this if we really want our lives to be better. Thank you so much, Mazi Sani. We are through with this segment, so you can take it up from there, please.
I think we can go to matters that matters. Another matters that matters.
Yeah. We're looking at the Asaba.
You know, Mazi, next time, you see, there was a video I sent to you today on how the first election in Nigeria was rigged, 1960. Yes. Already. Oh, God. By the British, the same British.
I think that was by Harold Smith.
Yes.
Sorry, yes, Harold Smith, yes. Harold Smith was actually the one that actually made that confession. You know, his colleague, William Smith, sorry, that one was William Smith,
yes.
Made the confession. Yes, this is Harold Smith. So one Smith, you know, exposing what happened, you know, to us. And if these people are making that sacrifice to expose what they did to us, then you can imagine some of us trying to destroy ourselves for what they did for us, helping them to destroy us. So these are the facts, and these are the things we have to deal with, basically. So Mazi Sani, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are through with this segment now, so we can go on the next.
Okay. Hey, you know why I love you guys? You guys are awesome. Mwah, 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 mwah. Wonderful media team that are always on the go. So, Biafrans all over the world, our aim and objective of bringing out this communique to you is for you to know thousands and many reasons why you don't need to support 2023. You don't need to support one Nigeria to go further. The continuous existence of one Nigeria is the continuous alienation of your people. It's the continuous killing of your people. You have seen the intentions and the interests and the dreams of the British all the way from 60s to this very time. It has been oil and gas against your own life. They came, they killed you, open fire because of oil and gas. Now, if you go back to the 0 something, 16 something, it was still about our interest. Then they were using us as slaves. They use us to trade, to change. They use us to change for gold and silver. In the early 90s, 1900, it is still the British that were continuing this thing. When you see that they came down to Asaba to come and start the massacre of the young men and they line us up, that was where the Niger Royal Company first was stationed before. Why did they station it there before? Because they knew that that is where they will be taking all the oil and gas out. So they had to station their headquarters there before, in the very first time. Later now, when they now wanted to go and give the control of power to the Fulani, they now took the power down to the north. Do you see how the game of the Fulani, the British are working? So that when they want to come and kill you, they know how. So we are not this because we just love doing it. We are doing it for our freedom. And we want you to understand and let it sink inside of you that anybody that is telling you election in Biafra land, use stone, pursue am, make you come out because it is not there in Biafra land. You have suffered for years. You have suffered for centuries. They kill you. You listen to when the British government said they congratulate Nigerian government for fighting and killing you to keep Nigeria as one. If it was to have fought a different nation who came to come and kill all of us, for us to fight and then protect all ourselves, it would have been different. But the end thereof of all these killings was because of oil for the British while they kill us all. So people should not be looking up to 2023 when it comes to Biafra land because we have suffered the brunt of one Nigeria and we cannot allow ourselves to continue to be used anymore. They will to all Biafrans. And on this very note, we will now jump into. I thank all my comrades for being time coded because we have not spent 2 hours yet and we have covered a lot of things. So we jump into Asaba Massacre. Asaba Massacre is a prelude of what these British still did to us. Asaba Massacre did not come from heaven. It is same Britain that brought the Asaba Massacre. When you heard of when they said they have to use airstrike strategies because they saw that we were too good on the ground because it is our land. They now decided to use airstrike strategies where they can stay from up and then they drop the weapon and then they will destroy everybody. Because we are very, very good in our terrain. All these are strategies. As they see, another way they saw we were still winning them was from our shores, the riverine shores. They now decide to use the boat to also go to that side and then block everything so that any food aid that is supposed to have come, health and otherwise, everything will be blocked and then we will become less and they can overcome us. But as time goes on, Biafrans will get to be hearing things that will sparkle their bones because your brothers and sisters and fathers and ancestors, they fought for a cause that is justifiable. And that is why every one of us today here must continue to raise that flag and to keep the fire burning. Let's bring a video on the screen. We'll listen to and then extract some information that will help us on our expose of Asaba Massacre. Because all Biafrans wants to know is what led to what and why we are still fighting till this very day. If you don't know your problems, you can never find a solution to it. And you must go to the root before you think of getting the solution.
The progress of the federal troops towards Asaba could be measured by the approaching sound of heavy guns and the rattling machine gunfire. Eyewitness account described 24 hours of ferocious shelling during which Asaba suffered its first casualties. Then the massacre followed. This video is inspired by the book entitled The Asaba Massacre, Trauma, Memory and the Nigerian Civil War, written by Elizabeth Bed and Fraser Otanelli. Went to Hispel Media. Approaching Asaba from along the Opanam-Asaba Road, federal troops reached the outskirts of town on October 4th, where they overcame some Biafran resistance before occupying the grounds of St. Patrick's College later that day. This was the 2nd Division of the Nigerian Army led by Colonel Moritala Mohammed and Major Ibrahim Taiwo. At this point, many of the residents had fled into the nearby bush. Hundreds of people, including some who had first fled to the bush, men, women and children, gathered at the square wearing white attires signifying that and singing One Nigeria, and also some bearing gifts for the soldiers.
We post it there so that people will understand something. Mazi 247, Mazi Okonkwo, Mazi Chuk Survival, Mazi Kelechi. What could you depict from this very part that we have just played? 247, the mic is yours, please. Two 247, unmute yourself, please. 247, are you there? Two 247, can you hear us?
I think it's not that someone else can take over.
Okay, go on, please.
Yeah, you know, Abarawa, I have to also leave you people now because I left very early. Like I've said before, anything you see going on by any soldier of Nigeria against the people, all of them are situated and orchestrated by the same people we are talking about. You see, as long as the war did not end, these people still controls whatever thing we do because the supply is still going on. Now, before they supply weapons, but now they supply this kind of people you see here that are committing this genocide, this massacre. These are the weapons of British in the human formula. That's why Peter will be first of all rushed there. They will prepare him as another weapon to destroy us. So these are the cause. Everything you see going on in Nigeria, on the British leave us alone. They're the one that are creating this cabal. They have put some of them in their Freemasonry, so therefore they cannot come out anymore there. So we must fight this battle to liberate ourselves from this kind of animals, shooting people, committing massacre. Thank you, Biafrans. I will see you people tomorrow again while I'm still here. Thank you, everyone. God bless.
Thank you very much. Master Chuk Survivor, please.
Yes, my brother Sonny, thank you so much. On this very video, you see, this video is coming at the right time. This Asaba Massacre remembrance is coming at the right time. And I'm telling you now, any Biafra that is watching this video today, and those who will watch in time to come, this thing that happened here is the reason why you must stand up and join the struggle now, not tomorrow. If you listen from this very video from the beginning, first of all, you ask yourself, why did these people fall victim? The people that were killed, why did they fall victim? If you hear from the person that was talking, he said that some people ran into the bush. People who were fighting, some of the soldiers, they ran, they took off. When you look at it critically and check, you find out that the people who were really involved in this, people who encountered death in this Asaba Massacre, people who encountered death, were people who were sitting on the fence. People who were sitting on the fence, people who pretended, just as we are fighting for Biafra, there are people now who will never open their mouth and mention Biafra. They want to look good in the face of the Janjaweed. But let me tell you, the Fulanis know you better than you know yourself. It doesn't matter how you pretend. Whether you are a member of IPOB, whether you fight for Biafra, whether you ask for Biafra, you don't ask for, they know you better than you know yourself. When you listen to that very thing, you see that some people ran away. The main people who were fighting, who were resisting, they were not there, they took off. Majority of people who were killed in that Asaba Massacre were people who were sitting on the fence. They came out, they were raising their hand to be part of one Nigeria. They are not part of the struggle. They were not ready to defend the land. they hands themselves off. They want to look good, while their own brothers are dying in the war. And you saw what happened. The Janjaweed opened fire on them because they know that it doesn't matter how you pretend not to be a Biafra. If you have not lived in the north, you wouldn't know that you are not. If you have not lived in the north, you wouldn't know what I'm saying. If you have lived in the north, you will know that anybody from the southern part of Nigeria, not even the Biafrans alone, anybody from the southern part, they see you as a Nyamiri. More especially when you are looking good and you are looking bright. They see you. It doesn't matter whether you pretend you're not a Biafran, you're not part of it. Hey, I'm not talking about Biafra. Look at them, they're the one talking, they're making noise. When the rain will fall, it will start from you. It will start from you. Look at the Asaba Massacre, look at it critically. Those people, this same thing is about to play out again. If people are not careful, the Asaba Massacre will repeat again. We have seen example of the Asaba Massacre in Lekki Tollgate. Lekki Tollgate, people were singing national anthem of Nigeria, raising flag. They opened fire on them. If the Janjaweed can be able to open fire on the people who are singing national anthem, raising flag, what about you, a Biafran, that they know that you're a Biafran? You, that you're a Biafran. It doesn't matter how you pretend. It doesn't matter. You don't want to support IPOB. I don't want to commit my money. I don't want to bring out my face in the picture. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to be part of it so that they won't say, I want to look good. It is the Fulanis that gave me the business I am. They are the one giving me business, the one I'm dealing with. When the rain will fall, it is going to start from you.
Thank you, my bishops. Yeah. Please, let's be guided with time. Let's use 1 minute for comments so that we will make good use of our time. All right, Master Kelechi, please. From the first segment video that we have played, what did you?
You see, the irony of this whole thing is that they were shouting one Nigeria, and yet they were killed brutally. Anytime you deny your identity, you become a suspect to the enemy. Because if you are scared of identifying yourself as who you are going to be treated as one who is actually dangerous, because they see you as very dangerous. And so the people actually made themselves, fooled themselves anyways. It's a pity anyways. Of course, those times they actually wanted to save themselves. They thought that agreeing to the terms of the British means that they are safe. But they never knew that agreeing to the terms of the British is meant to give them easy access to dealing with them and cutting them off. Because what they want is your oil, not you. You are not important. They want to get rid of you. And that is what they've been doing. That's why they're sending us food soldiers from the Sahel. As they're killing you, they are bringing them into your land. They want to take over. So every Biafran must understand that the betrayer and everything you are doing, thinking you are trying to please these people, you are only telling them that you are dangerous. And when the time comes, they're going to deal with you. So you have to learn this lesson. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 247. Your internet knocked you out. Welcome back. What did you pick out?
Because of this cap where you wear today, come on, since you wear my internet is just the break. Anyway,
don't worry, I'll upgrade you to 20G.
Not wasting too much time. You know, there's something people don't even think or remember. Who led this Asaba Massacre? Who lead them? Who be the head man? Now the same dead man wait there for office. Buhari led the Asaba Massacre. Like you hear my comrades talk, now so it be. Identify with Biafra, no. Stand with ESN, no. There was a clip I saw today where a Bubago man was carrying gun up Obi, he won't go kill people. As he hear say ESN dey corner, he run with his gun, enter bush. That will show you that they are not even sure of what they are doing. It's better you identify with the Biafra now. A time is coming when you will say, I want to belong, I want to be part of Biafra. Biafra go say, you are not part of Biafra. I don't know you. The same way God said that the time will come when you will knock at the door of heaven and the heaven will say, go away for I know ye not. The same way it will happen. identify with Biafra? No. You want to be one Nigeria. I want you to know one thing very, very clear. Whoever sent you to go and kill your brother, we never trust you for anything in this life. If you can have the mindset of killing your brother for money, what about him that is not your brother? You think he will believe you? You think that is what happened to Dave Omai? Exactly. He was promised to he was promised the office of president. Don't worry, kill them. He come out, 2 million naira each Biafran you point. As long as you point him a Biafran, you will get your reward of 2 million. Today, where is that Ekwesoma? Nowhere. Nobody betrays Biafra and goes scot-free. And their punishment has never started. Accept one Nigeria, and one Nigeria will happen to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You all made good points there that everyone can learn. But there is something here people should also remember. That when they say they came, and then the people in the community came out in numbers, trying to persuade them to see that they want peace and they don't want them to see them as their enemies. They went to the point of singing one Nigeria, one Nigeria, one Nigeria. Let me narrow your mind to one Nigeria that they sing every day. On every of our broadcasts, we tell you that one Nigeria means kill, maim, destroy, cut women to pieces, rape, cut children to pieces. That is the meaning of the one Nigeria. So why people were singing one Nigeria, thinking that when they hear one Nigeria, that they will not fire them, that they will see you to be there. Now there you make mistake, because we told you Nigeria is not for you. One Nigeria is for the Fulanis. You are not the one Nigeria. So when you continue to call yourself one Nigeria or try to force yourself into belonging or to being part and parcel of one Nigeria, what you will see is killing and maiming and destruction of lives and properties. What happened in Legi Tollgate, like my comrade made reference to, they were waving the Nigerian flag and singing the same one Nigeria. Replicated into doing what? Killing them, killing them, killing them. This is one Nigeria. One Nigeria. One Nigeria. Cut, destroy, maim. Let's move.
Sorry. Somebody is asking a question. Why did they choose Asaba? Anyway, to my own view.
Why they choose Asaba?
Okay, go on.
Why they choose Asaba? Along the line, you will get to understand. Let the video continue play first.
But Simon is online. Simon is online.
Simon is online now.
Yeah, I think Kelechi says so.
Yeah, he's online. I saw his notification. He's online.
We'll check if he's online. We'll bring him to the screen when it starts.
Since there was a lot of anxiety, some refused to take part. Both traditional criers using guns and trucks equipped loudspeakers were reportedly calling on everyone to join. The chief information officer from Benin City, an Asaba man named Frederick Kongwe, was aboard one of these vans. Since he was well known, the sight of him allayed the fears of many residents who then came out in their numbers. Others were ordered to take part after being pulled from their homes by soldiers. Celestina Izishe was a college student who returned home to Asaba at the instance of northern pogrom and the threat of war. Her father resided on one of Asaba's most beautiful estates at the time, which was made of a large brick house and a number of outbuildings. The family, which consisted of her parents, younger brother Osi, sisters, and an older brother Emmanuel, together with his wife, had felt generally secured back in their home. Her father was a powerful man, and the family had recently celebrated her brother Patrick's ordination as a Catholic priest. They were now hiding as shots started to hit their house. Osi and his friend Callistus, both students of St. Patrick's College, hid under beds. However, when the soldiers arrived at their compound, all hell broke loose. Osi and his friend ran out of hiding and were accused of being Biafran soldiers. They were shot one after the other as they approached the gathering of women who were on a forced dance outside the gate of the compound. About 4,000 residents took part and were led by elders from the community. Groups emerging from homes in the 5 Asaba quarters joined those who had congregated by a big tree on the Indebisi Road, across from the High Court. St. Trix College student Christopher Nkwaya, who had already witnessed a friend from school die, was waiting anxiously in his home. After some time, the crowd at Ndebisi Road started dancing and singing One Nigeria, One Nigeria, One Nigeria. Along the major Ndebisi Road, the crowd passed the Catholic Church of St. Joseph. Any hope that this act of kindness would calm the troops was immediately dashed. As Nkwaya narrated, federal forces flanked the marchers to prevent them from escaping, and other witnesses claimed they would also select men at random and have them killed in front of the crowd, as they did with Osi, Isiche, and his Callistus. Once the crowd reached the corner of Ogbogonogo and Ogbeke markets, troops separated out women and small children, many of whom were carried into the maternity hospital on Inebisi Road, while the men and boys of around 12 years and above were channeled between 2 rows of soldiers down the side road that led to the square at Ogbeosoa, a village in the Asaba quarter of Ugbomanta. Eyewitness narrate how Paul Ogbebo, a federal soldier, tried to intervene. He said, "I was coming on my jeep and I saw a boy being taken away to be shot, and the mother held him by the waist, and then I came out and asked for this nonsense to be stopped, and when they refused, I cocked my gun, said, 'Don't do it or I will kill you.' I managed to save some lives there." However, things were now out of control. Ogbebo reported that he left the scene to join his own troops who were camped on the outskirts of town. At this point, witnesses describe how mothers were attempting to protect their young sons by wearing them skates and gloves so that they could look like girls. Their effort yielded little or no result, as the men and boys were led away to the open field nearby. Here, one account reported that troops divided the men into groups of 10 and shot them. Apparently tired of killing their victims this way, they readied a truck-mounted machine gun and started shooting at the crowd of men. One survivor narrates as follows: "When we got there, they said we should now stop. As we stopped there, they now surrounded us, sat us down, they started whipping us. The next thing we saw, the officer spoke in Hausa. I was born in the north, so I heard what he said. He said they should take us 10 by 10 and start firing us. I said we are finished. Some people say they are just trying to threaten us. That officer now picked out somebody from the meet, shot him, picked out another, shot him. Then people were praying, 'Father, forgive them. They don't know what they did.'" Another witness narrates as follows: 20 of our men were selected and lined up in front of us and told as follows: "Today, I be your God. Me first, God second. God gave you life. Me, I go take him. 2 minutes time, you go die." 2 minutes afterwards, these 20 men were shot. Another 20 were picked up and the same ritual followed. 15-year-old Ifi Uriah, who had joined the parade with his father and 3 elder brothers, Paul, Emmanuel, and Medua, described what happened. "Some people blew and tried to run away. My brother was holding me by the hand. He released me and pushed me further into the crowd. They shot my brother in the back. He fell down and I saw blood coming out of his body. And then the rest of us just fell down on top of each other. And they continued shooting and shooting and shooting. I don't know how long it took. After some time, there was silence. I stood up. My body was covered in blood, but I knew that I was safe. My father was lying far away. His eyes were open, but he was dead." Exactly how many died in this single incident is unclear. Around 700 to 800 seems likely, in addition to many who had died in the previous days. Sporadic shooting continued for hours until darkness caused the soldiers to disperse. Survivors, including Ifi Uriah, lay still under the heap of bodies for a long time before feeling it was safe to wriggle out and run into the nearby bush. Ifi Uriah and his cousin could let later ran to their grandmother's house, found his sisters and 3 younger brothers. He told them their father and 3 older brothers were dead. Later, he learned that Major had survived, gravely wounded, and had been carried to the bush by his friend. Community elders Michael Ugo and Leo Okogu were among a large number of the leading age grades to die. With all the men either dead or in hiding, it was left to women and children to attempt to retrieve the bodies of their fathers, brothers, husbands, and other relatives, and then drag them back to their compounds for burial. Joseph Unwaje, the boy who had returned with family from Ibadan, had escaped into the bush from the family compound after watching the earlier execution of his uncle George, a prominent civil servant. When he returned a few days later, he learned of the death of his 2 brothers, aged 12 and 17, in the mass shooting. He narrates as follows. Mom told me that in the evening hours of the 7th of October, she had to go and look for their corpses at the mass place where shot. Most victims, however, were dumped in mass graves or thrown into the Niger River. Few people had any opportunity to conduct requisite burial practices, an affront that is deeply resented to this day. When it was safe to move about, Frank Ije, a local Red Cross worker, enlisted surviving men to dig horrid, shallow graves wherever they found bodies around the town. Nwanze recalled how wives went searching for their husbands, dragging them home if they could find them. Some dragged 2 days before they reached their homes. As more people began to trickle back into town, it became urgent to dig mass graves for the many unclaimed bodies. Who oversaw the massacre at Asaba? At the Justice Oputa panel that heard testimonies about brutalities against groups and marginalization of different sections of the country, General IBM Haruna, retired, claimed that he ordered the massacre and had no apology.
I, as a combatant commander of the troops,
as a witness in this box,
testifying for and on behalf of the soldiers who fought the Civil War, they fought it in the principle of preserving the Nigerian Federation. I have no apologies for maintaining the Federation of Nigeria. That was my task. If my commander-in-chief, who was in command, gave me command, which I carried out with truth, if he now feels to apologize, and he has apologized, it is in his own wisdom to do so.
However, some historians commented that Haruna was not in Asaba in 1967. They argued that he took over from Murtala Muhammad as the commanding officer of the 2nd Division in 1968. But why was Asaba the target of the federal troops, and particularly Colonel Murtala Muhammad or even IBM Haruna? Asaba is the metropolis where soldiers like Major Kaduna Nziogu, the leader of Nigeria's first military coup on January 15, 1966, came from. Even though Nziogu was born and raised in the north, his parents were from Okpanam, 9 kilometers from Asaba. Okpanam fell within the Asaba metropolis or division as it was known then. Analysts adduced that Murtala Muhammad and Taiwo were not satisfied with their revenge coup of July 1966, where they killed Igbo officers as revenge for the January 1966 coup. Remember that Nziogu had led the coup in which the premier of the northern region, Ahmadu Bello, beloved by many in the north, was killed, along with other northern leaders. Murtala and Taiwo were hell-bent on continuing their revenge killings beyond their fellow soldiers. This could have been the reason behind the massacre at Asaba. Click the video here for more on the
it is a very painful thing to remember Asaba Massacre. Asaba Massacre, seeking healing. A lot of Nigerians don't know what happened. 7th October 1967, a lot of atrocities happened in the land of Asaba. Nigerian soldiers committed a lot of atrocities.
That is goodbye till we meet no more.
During Biafra War, Nigerian soldiers gathered all the male child and adult in Asaba and massacred them all. They killed many people. They killed both adult, all the male child from inside Asaba.
1970, Anyị bịa ka anyị zụta ndị agha Nigeria. Bịa bulu egwu. Anyị amara na ọ bụ a game of death ka anyị ba n'ime ya.
In remembrance of Asaba Massacre, on the 7th October 2022, we be sit at home in entire Biafra land. On that day, it is expected that all schools, all markets, all churches, all banks will shut down for the remembrance of Asaba Massacre. Anybody will hear my voice, making talk to a brother, making talk to a sister, making one in children, making one everybody, where they close to them. This order is coming from Biafra spokesperson Simon Ekpa. Asina nti ada hanihe ebubisi ise soroya intimacy. Any ear, when they hear word, as they cut head in, as they go cut ear, full
They open fire. Where will you go? Machine gun, gahude our people. And they were slaughtered in thousands.
Okay, dear friends, all this should remind you and should also put you in line with no election in Biafra land. There are many videos there and documentaries that will help us through the week. So hook up to all of us in our individual broadcasts or in our joint broadcasts that might likely come to be due to the circumstance of this week. We might be on another unusual joint broadcast because of the circumstance of the week. And you will be seeing more videos from different narratives and from even people that were part and parcel of the commanding officers that carried out the massacre. You will hear testimonies and then you will be shedding tears. So why are all these videos important now? It is important now because we are living one Nigeria and we want our Biafra independence to be actualized. So with the death of the monstrous Queen of England that supervised every massacre in one Nigeria, it is very, very important that we open all these channels now for you to be seeing them bare, naked, and understand how far and the role that Britain played. Because this massacre here was advised by the British. They advised them to carry it out. So that when we read in that communique we read before, you heard where they say, let them finish the war, to help them to finish the war. This was the finishing line where they will go to the grassroots and waste everyone. The way it happened in Asaba, it happened in other places. So people were not left out as far as you are from the eastern region. There's another video you get to listen to where you hear that while this massacre of the Biafran Civil War in Nigeria was ongoing in Biafra land in the east, that Lagos was booming in business. Everything was going on well and people were waxing strong and focusing on their commerce, while the center of gravity of the annihilation of the people was ongoing in Biafra land. So we want you to understand that your freedom is in your own hands and not in the hands of British, not in the hands of one Nigeria, because Nigeria can never give you good. It will always continue to destroy your lives. When you have your freedom, you are totally free. So on this very note, I will leave the mic to my comrades for them to do the final stage of our broadcast. Master Chuk Survivor, please use, or in a nutshell, with all the points that you have picked from that video we played, push them, like Simon played in that video. Push here, push here, push here, push here. Okay, push all of them. Push all of them put together, then make a recap for us.
My fellow Biafrans, everyone who has been patient to be with us up to this minute, I appreciate every one of you. You see, when you watch the videos that are coming out from the Biafran war and massacre and all whatnot, hearing everything everyone have been saying here, you will see reasons why you must stand up and fight for your freedom. We are not fighting for our freedom. We're not fighting for Biafra because of resources. We are not fighting for Biafra because of the hatred we have on the Fulanis or anybody. We are not fighting for Biafra because of greed or because we are too smart. It is a matter of life and death. From everything we have seen, you see that Britain, their aim is to make sure that we are wiped out of the planet Earth. And it is only a tree that we hear that you want to cut him down as we still stand in the same place. It is very necessary that every Biafra must put their hand on the deck. There's no need to sit on the fence. If you sit on the fence, one Nigeria will happen to you. I pray that everybody will be alive to see Biafra come 2023. Thank you so much, and God bless every one of you.
Thank you, Mazi, for making it very short. Mazi 247, please.
Yes, my brother, there's nothing there hidden. As you hear them, now so it be actually my own view from why the Biafrans why the Asaba massacre was, why Asaba never believed in what we are doing even now. Not only Asaba, them where they call us Umoyibu, Delta State up like that. So during the war, they did not take part. Only few of them, one here, one there, they joined and they fight, and all of them, they fought very well anyway. So at the end of it all, if you those pictures where you saw the soldiers, where you see the soldiers, they sit down, you go see the first, they be like 3 people who sit down. Buhari did there. Now Buhari be the first man wait there before you see the other 2 people with the one way stand. Like I said, now Buhari lead the squad. Now he suggest them. So why the Asaba massacre was because Asaba was not killed. The innocent citizens of Asaba were not among the people that were killed. So they decide to go back to make sure. If you watch, you will see that they targeted only male children. So my people, I believe everybody see this video. Remember, make it they do you like say na it that happen. They see that blood, make you get angry in your spirit. Want to be freedom, want to be free from this carnage, desire to be free, desire, develop the quest to be free. Let this thing trigger you, trigger your anger. We need Biafra, we need freedom. We have to close. So at this point, I will say my thanks to everybody that have remained with us to this moment. We are hooking on to Simon. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mazi. Mazi Kelechi, please.
When we have such kind of, information coming to us as Biafrans, sometimes when I look at these things and these videos and read and find information that contains these kind of bloody and heartless killings, I feel so pained that I feel like I could be able to take an action that will end this Nigerian contraption very quickly. But it's so painful when you see people amongst us who also begin to take for granted this kind of solemn situations and begin to so I'm just seeing a kind of post from one Prince Jonathan. I'm sending a curse to that Prince Jonathan. He's not going to die. He's not going to see Biafra. He's going to die before Biafra comes. For him to even post that kind of nonsense here. We are talking about something that affected the people. And you come into a broadcast like this to post your ignorance and stupidity. People like you will not see good things in your life because you have dared the spirits and the people who have died. Ridicule them. You have messed up with the people who have died. People who have died in pain, lost everything in a kind of carnage like this and disaster. And you come to a broadcast where people are analyzing such kind of things and you come to talk rubbish. We believe that Biafra has come. And I want every Biafran to see this as a very painful event that affected you directly. And we must get free. We must be free. And freedom we must achieve. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, dear friends. We thank you all for standing by, and we say from us from here, it will be a good night, and we pray for us all to see Biafra. We will continue to do what we know how to do best. Continue to do your quota. Always pray for ESN, Simon Ekpa, Mazinam Dekano, Omuada, the Biafran people, the media, and everyone that are putting everything on the line to make sure that we move forward. So thank you very much for watching, and join us again in our individual and also joint broadcasts that will be coming. And we are also joining Simon now, but we are going to terminate this one and start a new link immediately. It has already been set. So as we just drop this one, you're going to see another one go live. So thank you very much for being with us. And from us from here, we say